With 20 years of teaching experience under my belt, before I entered the Boise State Educational Technology Master's Program, I would have viewed myself as someone with strong content knowledge regarding my subject areas, but limited content knowledge as it related to how to leverage technology in a way that improved my instructional delivery. Now, 2 years later, I feel like I've grown tremendously in this area. I am able to effectively and efficiently assess quality technology integration and use the tools in a way that significantly impacts student achievement. In my EdTech 502 course, I created a virtual field trip to transport students back in time to ancient civilizations of the Western Hemisphere. Having had no experience with coding prior to this course, the skill set was both challenging and extremely satisfying to acquire. I was not only challenged with creating a multiple-page website lesson, but also needed to assess the best external websites to utilize for the learning and decide how to have my students demonstrate their learning in a way that was both meaningful and engaging. As with most of my instructional designs in the EdTech program, I was able to use this lesson with my students and get feedback from them on ways to improve the delivery in the future. EdTech 501 gave me experience incorporating an RSS feed into an instructional unit. The unit was constructed using the Wiggins and Mattei backwards design model. As has been my instructional practice for the past decade, I have had my students complete a writing activity centered around current events each week. Rather than me searching the internet each week for articles that I hoped would inspire students to respond in meaningful ways, Feedly has now provided a way for my students to have access to multiple RSS feeds on a daily basis and has given them choice over the articles they wish to thoughtfully respond. I've always considered myself on the forefront of technology integration within my classroom. I was one of the first ones in my building to try out the newest gadget available or have the students hop on a new website I'd heard about that I thought might be a nice break from the pencil paper tasks they were accustomed to. Technology was primarily used as a supplement to enrich learning or engage students. Throughout the EdTech program, I've learned a tremendous amount about rich technology integration, and my implementation of technology has shifted extensively. One of the most significant ways that my pedagogical strategies have been altered is in my use of project-based learning on a regular basis within my classroom. I had the opportunity to create an extensive PBL unit in my EdTech 542 course. Students were challenged with creating a container that would improve productivity within our school. I incorporated all of the essential elements of PBL within the unit, as well as numerous content standards from across all disciplines. Their summative writing reflections, portfolios, and ad campaigns demonstrated understanding of the concepts at a much deeper level than what I believe would have been seen had these same lessons been delivered using teacher-directed methods. Never before have I seen students so engaged in the learning process.
Is that the wrong one? No, it was. It was the right one.
It is not simply enough for teachers to plan and deliver instruction. They must also meet the needs of all learners by determining which instructional tools can be used to personalize and differentiate instruction. In EdTech 541, I created this relative advantage chart where I identified needs and offered up technology resources that would help to differentiate and optimize learning for all students. Reflecting on how specific tools can meet specific needs helped me to see the value in having a strong knowledge base in regards to both student needs and available resources. Over the past 4 years, I have developed a level of comfort in using our district's LMS Schoology. Prior to the EdTech program, I had already begun posting assignments and creating quizzes on Schoology. I had not, however, integrated Schoology in a way that made the use of the tool an integral component of the classroom. Learning about the nuances that one should consider when creating quality learning environments has had a tremendous impact on the way I incorporate technology into my classroom. In EdTech 502, I created a EDTECH webpage. Having never heard the term before, I immediately knew that the concept of teaching students how to interact online was a critical component I had been unintentionally omitting from my instruction. As you can see, the webpage defines EDTECH and outlines an example contract. I used this webpage as a springboard to a series of discussions we completed in Schoology to practice acceptable use of technology in school. Another example of a way that I have built upon the idea of creating an online community that honors the individual is through a Google presentation self-paced lesson that I created in EdTech 521. This lesson takes the idea of EDTECH one step further and has students watch a variety of videos and respond to prompts on ways that they can be good digital citizens. After the students complete the lessons, we come back together and create our Classroom in the Cloud contract. We talk about the fact that we have both our physical classroom space where we interact and we have our cloud classroom where we interact online. Giving students the opportunity to create the contract as a community allows for greater buy-in from all students. My development in the area of professional knowledge and skills is perhaps what has seen the greatest impact on me since the start of the program. While I've always been comfortable taking risks and trying new things within the confines of my own classroom, I did not feel I had much to offer my colleagues in terms of technology-rich integration strategies. Throughout the last 2 years, I have had the privilege of collaborating with innovative peers, thought-provoking professors, and have read, watched, and learned from countless other experts in the field. My newfound confidence and skill set can best be exemplified in my 523 Blended Learning for 5th grade teachers Schoology course. This course represents a semester's worth of work where we were challenged to create a project that embeds online or blended learning instructional design components in a project of our choice. I chose to create a course for 5th grade teachers in my district who were new to blended learning. Throughout the evolution of the course construction, I became involved in creating blended learning workshops for the teachers, and the course took on a life of its own. Collaboration was an integral component to all my EdTech courses. The ability to collaborate with my peers who were thousands of miles away was something that left a significant impression on me and fueled my desire to collaborate with other teachers in my district, as well as give my students the opportunity to work with a community of learners outside of our classroom. In EdTech 541, I was given this very opportunity to create a collaboration assignment. I chose to work with another teacher in my district to create a collaborative writing project between our 5th grade classes. The students loved sharing ideas back and forth with their peers, and the other teacher and I were able to learn from each other at the same time the students were learning. I had not had the opportunity to think much about learning theory in my last 25 years. I had lost sight of the why behind what pedagogical approach I was choosing to use in my classroom each day. The review of past learning theory, coupled with newer perspectives I have learned about in the EdTech program, has made me a much more thoughtful practitioner. In EdTech 504, I was able to apply what I had learned throughout the semester related to constructivism and connect it to my learning and research in the area of project-based learning. I sought out to answer whether utilizing a strictly constructivist approach had stronger learning gains in the PBL environment than utilizing a variety of strategies depending on the desired skill acquisition. This activity had a far-lasting impact on my own practice, as I find myself, when designing units, reflecting on the learning theory behind my design, and if I could alter activities to make them more constructivist in nature, as that is the theory I believe is most in line with effective teaching for elementary learners of today. Learning about APA formatting and creating artifacts such as the annotated bibliographies in EdTech 501 and 504 helped me grow in my scholarly abilities. Not only did these activities help me personally to glean newfound writing skills, but they also justified for me the need to have my elementary students adhere to naming conventions, correct formatting, and basic source citations within their published work, so they begin to see the importance in terms of both readability and giving credit to those who provided the resources for them to learn from.